Well, good afternoon. This is the second podcast of the day. We are spoiling you today, aren't we? Absolutely. So we're back. We're here, your hosts, Paddy, Magic, and Jordan. How are you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. I'm all right. You all right since I spoke to you half an hour ago?
All of half an hour. Yes, I've been grand. I've solved world hunger. I've sorted out world peace. It's brilliant.
Oh, I had a pork pie.
There you go. Living the dream.
I'm trying to stream a watch party on my laptop, so it's
okay.
live on my Facebook as well.
Amazing stuff. Speaking of which, for those of you who are watching, thank you for joining us again. 2 in one day. This is amazing. But while you're doing this, please like and share if you haven't already. Like and share our Facebook page. Share the videos. Absolutely everything. What I'm going to try and do as well is clip together, because I'm still trying to get over the one we did earlier with Jess. I mean,
that was brilliant.
Amazing. Was that? Oh, so almost do like a kind of best bits type thing. Because that Primark story, I'm sorry, the world needs to hear about that. That was just amazing.
I think we are going to.
I've also changed my t-shirt. Look.
Yeah, I don't know if I was wearing this earlier. Was I? I've put a jumper on, so I got a bit too cold.
I was Superman. Now I'm back to Magic. But anyway,
there you go. So like we said, guys, share the page. Sorry, Paddy. Yep. Share the page, right. Like it. The more followers we get, the better.
Absolutely.
We've got loads and loads of interest of people coming on the podcast. We've got some.
Such as who, Jordan?
People. Pardon?
Such as who?
I know that we've got 2 of your friends coming on. Remind me of their names.
We have still got to finalise details, but Steve Walls and Mary Joanne Proud, who are brilliant people. I've met Steve Walls I met ages and ages ago, back when I was working in Devon, and Mary's one of the queens of Panto, 10 years at the Whitley Bay Playhouse, so I'm sure they've got a lot of stories, not just about Panto, but about other things as well. We've got Sean Terry, a.k.a. Sheepy.
Sheepy.
Yeah.
And we've got a treat for you on Thursday as well, because we've got 4 very, very brilliant entertainers. They'll be joining us on Thursday for our game show marathon. I don't know if we can get a little picture of them. Maybe.
There they are. Yep, Stuart, Dan, Josh, and Chloe. They're all coming up as well. And again, with the game show, again, we're still putting it together, I think. But at the same time, you can still play along at home. Not necessarily joining with the comments, but, grab pen and paper and join along. But let's go with this live. We are joined this afternoon by a fantastic guy. I only met him at the beginning. Have you met him before, Jordan? Before this year?
Lewis, I met. Yeah, I think I met him the year he joined, briefly, very briefly.
Well, I met him at the seminar this year. We got on so well, so it's a treat to have him on. Let's get him on. Mr. Lewis Fitzpatrick, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, buddy?
Hello. I'm good, guys. How are you?
Hey, there he is. Look at that beard.
Look
are you preparing for Winter Job of Santa or what?
I'm preparing for Tiger King. We're going to do for Halloween. I'm going to go as Joe Exotic with the Tiger King thing. Like
Carol bloody Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin.
Let me just touch on this. Have either of you seen Tiger King?
No.
I've seen the first episode.
I have not watched it, and everyone's raving about it. Like, again, I'll come to you, Lewis, for some suggestions, but very exciting news I found out today. Ricky Gervais is planning Afterlife Series 3. Breaking news. He did a thing on his Facebook a while back, I think it was this morning, saying, the response to Series 2 has been great. People have discovered Series 1 because of it as well. So, and that'll be the first time he's done a Series 3 of anything. But Tiger King, I've not actually watched. Like, everyone's saying, yeah, go and watch it. It's brilliant. I'm like, I don't know what it is, because I know Louis Theroux did a documentary with him, but it was more about it basically making him out like that he's a crazy guy for having these animals as pets, which, fair point. But it's like, no, that's cool. They're really tame. But with isolation and everything else, Lewis, we're asking everybody. We're all abusing Netflix, Amazon Prime, ITV Hub, for all these platforms. A couple of suggestions from you, please, for our lovely viewers. And maybe they haven't seen something that you've seen and you can recommend. A couple of recommendations.
One of them, it's on Disney Plus. So I don't know if people like
Excellent.
Disney. I love Disney. It's called The Mandalorian.
Ooh.
It's like people who like Star Wars. I know some people go like Star Wars isn't Disney, but it's in Disney Plus. Now. So yeah, it is now. Mickey Mouse to Darth Vader, go and all that. But it's about the bounty hunters in Star Wars. So it's about this bounty hunter and that.
Nice.
It's like going around the planet, basically being a bounty hunter, really. And what it was like between the movies. So it's like what he's done between the movies without having the movie in it.
Okay. Anything else?
Another one is it's on Netflix. So we go back to Netflix. It's called Z Nation. So if you like your zombies, all that stuff, it's like a mix between The Walking Dead, but it's got more like humor, like more like wacky stuff, like superpowers, all that stuff in the zombie apocalypse.
Nice.
Brilliant. I'll tell you something with Disney Plus because I downloaded that. I'm succumbing to peer pressure. There's something called The Imagineering Story, which is basically a behind-the-scenes look, like right from the beginning when they first built Disneyland in California. That was the first one. And then like through the years in Disney Paris and how they come up with the ideas for the rides and stuff. It's a really in-depth look of how they make the parks happen. But yeah, I can recommend that. So, Lewis, how are you coping with isolation, buddy?
I'm doing all right. It's hit me a bit. It's like it's going from like you start the first week. It's like, oh yeah, it's a bit of like a week off really from like what we do and all that stuff. Don't know if you felt like that. And then I went into like week 5. I just was like, I feel like I'm in the zoo. You know when you're in the zoo and you see all the animals just looking at other people walking around. I'm like that, like seeing people just walk by. I was like, oh, what's that? What's going on there? All that stuff. But how are you guys doing?
Yeah,
we've got this to keep us going at the minute, haven't we, Paddy?
Exactly. We have. Although I was saying in our manager's chat the other day, like I got a random notification through on my phone saying your screen time for this week is like 128,000 hours, or whatever it is. I was like, oh,
nice. Yeah.
Nice.
I've played a lot. Sorry, I'm looking towards my laptop because I'm trying to stream out live on my Facebook as well. But I've been doing
Fitzpatrick Cox. Hi, Lewis. Who's that?
Hi, Mum.
Oh, it's your mum.
Yeah.
There we go.
Lovely woman.
Hi, Lewis's mum. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Xbox, like too much Xbox. And
is that such a thing?
When you're in a relationship, there is.
Oh.
So is Beth a FIFA widow at the end of the year?
I do need to teach her. I need to teach her how to play a bit of FIFA.
Or is she one of those you see on Facebook, like, girlfriends or whatever, they leave like FIFA 21, I suppose, at the end of this year, a bucket of Corona and just a little note saying, enjoy.
Pretty much.
Corona. I shouldn't have said Corona, should I?
Corona was a bad choice. Yeah.
Wow.
Budweiser. Other beers are available. Yeah. But no, going with, like you said, Lewis, from going from what we do to doing this is a bit soul destroying. How did you get into what we do?
I got into it. Well, I started like doing entertainment really because my mum used to be a dance teacher when I was growing up. She used to teach me and my sister dance. So then, but then she realised that I couldn't dance. So then I just like, she found it more entertaining that I couldn't dance than my sister actually being able to do it. Like I was just plodding around. And then I got into it by going to like abroad. I went abroad to a place called Ventura where they had it's a bad name, Thomas Cook. And then they had the entertainment team when it was going on.
We did say no swearing in this podcast, Lewis.
Oh, sorry. TC. And they had the entertainment team there, and I just loved every minute of it. Loved every bit of it. I was thinking, I want to do this, do that. And then I got in touch, then I started to do like pantomimes, musicals with a charity called Starburst. They're a charity for
excellent
kids with special needs, get them equipment, all that stuff, all raised for charity. There we go. That's me as the Sultan in Aladdin. And then I met a guy that Paddy, Daryl Quick.
Yes, lovely man.
Yes, and he was I didn't know that he used to do entertaining. He still does now. He took me to one of the holiday parks where he does his gigs. So I watched him do that, watched them do their thing. I was thinking, I want to get into that. I want to do it. So then I auditioned for Park Holidays. I was not old enough, but then I went away. Did more pantomimes of that, and then came back, and I worked for PDR for a tiny bit. And then I came to Park Holidays UK.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yes, and there it is.
You're a bit of a singer as well, aren't you, Lewis?
I am. I do a bit of a sing. Well, I attempt it.
No, I think you're very good.
Don't we all love?
What's your favourite style of music that you like to sing?
I love Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé, bit of Bublé. The best thing when it's Christmas, he comes out his cave, like lets out his album, everything like that.
Let's be fair, he's sorted for life just doing the Christmas album, isn't
he? He's been number 1 in Australia for about 11 years.
Wow.
Maybe
you should give us a little note at the end. No pressure.
What song would you like?
I mean,
everything.
Facebook might have a little cry because I don't know if they could do it for copyright, but they might have a little cry.
You could do it Acapulco.
Yeah.
I only do a little line. Little line.
Why not?
But
Michael Bublé song.
Yeah, Michael Bublé.
What about It's a Beautiful Day?
It's a Beautiful Day. Okay, think of that one. It's a beautiful day and I can't stop myself from smiling. If I'm drinking, then I'm buying. And I know there's no denying. It's a beautiful day, the sun is up, my music's playing. There we go.
There we go.
To be honest, that song is so underrated. It got in the and then it just went straight away. I think it's brilliant. It's so underrated, that song.
When I hear that song, all that's in my head is, what can I say except you're welcome? Does it sound similar, or is it just me?
No, I thought that it's got the same tune. It's like
yeah,
that bit. Yeah.
So one stage Dwayne Johnson and the other is Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It's really weird. There's a conversation that comes up on Scott Mills on Radio 1 from time to time. Are we running out of music? Because there's a song by Train. I think it's called 50 Ways to Die or something. If you listen to it, it sounds so similar to the Phantom of the Opera. I'm not even kidding.
I think there's another song by Train. It could be Train. You know, Play That Song.
Yeah.
That is the. Have you ever seen? Oh, what's the film? It's got Tom Hanks.
It's Art and Soul.
He plays it on the piano, doesn't he?
What film is it? Is
it Big? It's not Up,
yes,
is it?
It's Big. It's Big.
Yeah, Up's the one with the balloons, isn't it? And he flies off with the balloons. It's got Tom Hanks in, and he goes into the big toy store, and he's on the piano, and he does and that's Play That Song. I think by Train.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but I don't know. But a little fun fact for you there. But you love the entertainment, and you're with Park Holidays now, and you're at Pevensey.
I'm at Pevensey with the fantastic Tyler and Jodie as our ends manager.
Yeah,
lovely. And you can, if you like, you can follow Pevensey Bay on Facebook, and that is at Pevensey Bay. It's a pod at Pevensey Bay. There we go. Facebook.com/pod at Pevensey Bay. You can see Lewis and everybody else, the Enter team, do their thing. Do you do the Sunday live game shows?
We don't. I don't think, because you give away a teddy. We don't have the teddies.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, they're a very good pod. Very good park. It's premium park, isn't it?
Yes. So we have like different agendas and different activities to other parks. Yeah.
You're a posh park.
We are. I don't know why I'm at it though. I'm not posh at all. But
the one thing I don't like about it is because it's nothing to do with the company or anything like that. But I remember because I was at Colchester Hall last year, so to go on the train from Hastings to Eastbourne, because I just thought one day I want to change the scenery. You actually go through Pevensey, but the train times are so erratic. And for someone who doesn't drive like myself, if you want to get anywhere, that must be a bit of a pain. Like I said, that's not Park Holidays' fault. That's British Rail's fault.
To be fair, you were only there for 2 weeks, weren't you? Then we all got grounded. So
yeah. Grounded, good way to say it.
Cool. So you fancy yourself a little bit of a Doctor Who fan?
Yes.
Yes.
I
mean,
educate me.
Paddy needs a bit of education. I'm sort of clued up when it comes to obviously on Netflix you can watch it with Christopher Eccleston and is it Billy Piper that plays Rose?
Oh, look at that.
Yes, it's Billy Piper.
Hang on, I can name some of these. John Pertwee.
Yeah.
Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Chris Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and that woman that I don't know the name of.
Jodie Whittaker.
The rest of them, not too sure.
No.
Yeah.
There's John Hurt.
Yeah, John Hurt one. I know if Gary Tustin's watching, he's quite a big Doctor Who fan. But yeah, I sort of watched it with Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper that played Rose, and then you've got obviously David. Everybody loved David Tennant. I don't know anybody that didn't like Tennant as the Doctor.
He was good.
And he had Martha. I haven't got a clue what her real name is.
No.
Then the one that did surprise everybody was Catherine Tate when she came in and played Donna.
Which I don't understand, because I know at the time she was known for doing the Catherine Tate show and Lauren and Nan and all these, but she went to Central and she is trained, so
yeah.
What did you make of it, Lewis?
I like it. I love all the Doctor Who stuff. I think the Catherine Tate one is because I think she was only in there for one for the Christmas special, but then I think it's because people loved her so much in it, they wanted her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've always loved Doctor Who. I haven't watched the original ones, so I've only watched the Revive series.
We might need a bit of help from Andy then. We might need a little bit of help from Andy. I mean, I lost touch with it a little bit when I watched the first maybe series with Matt Smith and whoever played Amy Pond. Amy Pond, she was the actress for Amy Pond.
Karen Gillan.
That's the one. She's now in what's the new film with Dwayne Johnson?
Jumanji.
Yeah, she's in the Jumanji films now, and she's doing really well in Hollywood. But yeah, I sort of lost touch with it after Matt Smith. And then when Peter Capaldi come into it and Jodie Whittaker are complete because of the holiday parks. I lost a lot. I lost touch with a lot of things I watch. Really, I mean, I haven't seen EastEnders in donkey's years, and I used to love EastEnders. But
I mean, there's quite a few big names that have been in it as like special guests. Like I know Joanna Lumley was in it once. Martin Clunes from Doc Martin and Remember Him Badly, he did a bit in it. But Lewis, if we pressed you for an answer, who was your favourite Doctor?
My favourite Doctor is the one I started with. David Tennant is my favourite one.
Yeah,
fair
David
enough.
Tennant.
There he is. There, look at him.
Yeah,
he brought that. He brought a lot of showmanship back to the character, didn't he? And I think one of my favourite episodes, I don't know if you remember it, was when I can't remember. Andy might be able to help me out. The name he was in it with Martha, I believe, was his companion. But he had like a watch, but he turned into a human, and he was human. The one. He was human for such a long time. He forgot that he was a Time Lord, and then you had them like sort of scarecrow things come along, and that's my attempt to a scarecrow. Come along.
What does the scarecrow look like, please, Jordan?
Yeah, do a scarecrow. There we go. That's the one. Family of Blood.
There you go. Family of Blood. That's the one. The way David Tennant plays that character, was sort of playing two characters essentially in that episode, where he's a human for so long. But he's given this watch to Martha, and she has to eventually convince him that he's a Time Lord, but he doesn't want to leave the human life behind because he's fell in love with someone. I think it was based possibly in the Second World War. I think it was World War II was the setting, and he was a headmaster. But I think the way that was written in that episode was one of my favourites of David Tennant, definitely.
I love that. I love that bit because it's like a difference between of him, because he always pretends to be human even though he's not. But then in this episode he was human. He thought he was human, and he didn't want to be a Time Lord.
Yeah,
difference between that.
Yeah, very clever how it was written.
It's like I've said before. You know, I'm a huge fan of Skins, and to see Peter Capaldi because I'm used to seeing him as Sid's dad, Mark. In Skins, and he's effing and jeffing and all this sort of thing. And I mean, was he Scottish in Doctor Who? Because I know he is in real life.
David Tennant.
No, Peter Capaldi.
No, Peter Capaldi used his accent, I think.
Yeah, because David Tennant didn't, did he?
No, David Tennant didn't.
No, he went English, but I know Peter Capaldi was he Scottish accent in Doctor Who? Because I've not seen it.
No, I don't think he did.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've watched one episode of Peter Capaldi.
I wonder if he's related to Lewis. Yes, he did, says Andy.
Yeah. He is.
It's a good job we've got Andy at the back, isn't
it? He is related to Lewis Capaldi.
Nerd.
And he's, but this is good because obviously me and Paddy said, anyone's welcome to come on the podcast, even if we don't know about it. So in a way, this is sort of like a lesson. This is a lesson for me, because I know a little bit about Doctor Who, but I'm not massively clued up on it. Until someone comes on and talks about either football or wrestling, that's when I'm going to be talking for hours. But no, I like Doctor Who. What was your favourite episode of David Tennant?
My favourite episode of David Tennant was when he had the Master. So John Sims, if who know who John Sims is, he was the Master. He was the opposite of the Doctor, and I liked the way he was reacting with him, like how they brought the old characters back to the new age and still had that chemistry.
Yeah. Is it smart?
I mean,
it's one of his favourite lines, isn't it?
The one thing for me, and maybe you guys can explain this because you've actually like the TARDIS, small on the outside, big on the inside, blah blah blah. What even is it? Is it like his car? Or I know I sound really stupid, but
do you know what it stands for?
Come to be a thing? No.
It's time and relative dimension in space, is what it stands for.
Okay.
Look at me with the Doctor Who.
Oh no! Well done.
I will give you a gold star.
We don't need Andy.
But it's like, I mean, is it just his vehicle, or is it like how was that even a thing, and why is it a police box? The girl in the fireplace, an absolute banger, says Carly. Hi, Carly.
Yes, that's a brilliant episode.
That's with David Tennant, isn't it? David Tennant. And they've got
Rose and Mickey Smith. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great episode. Yeah.
To answer your question, Paddy, it's a but like in Back to the Future, you've got the DeLorean.
Yes, of course.
It's basically that, but it's meant to. But he stole it. The Doctor stole it, I think. But it's meant to have 8 pilots, but it's only got him doing it. So it's just it can make him travel in time, anywhere in space.
But the idea of it being an old police box is actually, fun fact, in Boscombe near Bournemouth, there's a public phone box which is shaped like the TARDIS and it's got painted blue. It sticks out like a sore thumb, but it's just like, why is it that old police box? Is it because from when it originally started, back in the day? Because how do you go back to, say, the Second World War, for example, and have that? Because they wouldn't have had those police boxes at that time. Or how do you go into the year 2368? They're not going to have them, so it's going to look out of place, surely. Or can it disguise itself? I don't know.
I think it disguises itself from different people's perspective, but only we see it as a police box, and people in that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, I know they use it wherever they are. Obviously, everybody talks English. And the TARDIS translates it for people.
Yes, he did steal it, says Joanne David.
What's that?
He did steal it.
Yes, he did steal it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thief.
It translates the language for the companion. So whether it's Rose or whoever in the TARDIS, it translates. And there's an episode where Christopher Eccleston regenerates into David Tennant, and David Tennant's first episode.
Yes, I've seen that.
He's in bed for a lot of it. But the TARDIS doesn't translate the Sycorax. Is it the Sycorax?
Yes. Yeah.
Look at me, I'm on fire. The Sycorax.
If we were talking about the in-betweeners, I'd be exactly the same.
Yeah. So, yeah, love a bit of Doctor Who.
Did you say, Lewis, you'd worked abroad?
I went abroad. I didn't work abroad. I went there. I went on a holiday, and they had the entertainment there. So
something we asked Jess earlier, because she abroad as well. Do you find that entertainment, or as they call it over there, animation, which I still say animation is when you are doing puppeteering, that's animating, but whatever. Do you find that entertainment changes from abroad to the UK? Like, again, you were watching, I said about the rifle activity.
Yeah.
How do you find it translates and how it changes?
I think there's a big difference between them, because, like, when it's on holiday, when I was there, it was like they had activities, but they didn't specifically run them. Like some people just want to go into the pools. They didn't sometimes just advertise them. They just go, "Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that." Like we advertise our activities, all that stuff. Like if like people go, "Oh, if you want to do this, we've either got more people doing that, more people doing that." They haven't got a set advertised activity.
Yeah, I found that as well. Like again with Bulgaria, we just had pool time. That's what we called it. So we could be playing water polo. We used to do this the pool run where we just got everyone who had a lilo from one end of the pool to the other, and you just got to try and run across it. That's literally it. I never did it because I'm fat and whatever. But also with the alcohol thing, we had a thing of which was quite cool because it was an all-inclusive. So all the local spirits and stuff were free. So the barman used to put these bottles on the thing, and we just said to people, right, come up with some cocktails. And then we had 3 people who tasted them, and the one that got the biggest vote was then put on the bar in the evening as a special, which was kind of cool. But yeah, with the whole, I mean, where was it you went?
I went to 2. I went to Fuerteventura, which is like near Spain, near Lanzarote and that. And then I went to Portugal. It was by the same company. So yeah, went there. But
Which is the better one, in your opinion?
The one in Fuerteventura was the better one.
Alicia's asking, sorry, Alicia. Lewis, where did you stay in Fuerteventura? Ace Ventura. I was there 4 years ago today. Let's call it Ace Ventura because I can't pronounce it.
Ace Ventura. I can't remember where I was. I can't remember where I was. But because I was 14 at the time, and like me being me, I can't even remember like how to tie up my shoe.
Last week.
So yeah, I was there last week. But yeah, it was just in a hotel. Really, that's all I can say.
In a hotel.
Yeah, but yeah, I loved that holiday because it was more.
Were the animators English or Spanish?
They were all English, but they had that one person that was both. That knew fluent English and fluent.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No.
Oh, my mum's watching and she wrote down the hotel. Hang on, it was the Oasis Village.
The Oasis Village.
Cheers, Mum.
Other hotels are available, obviously.
Yeah, yep. Like, well, it was by Thomas Cook, so I don't.
Oh well, then.
No. Yeah.
Not there. Let's not get onto that, shall we?
Yeah.
You'd have gone on holiday with Monarch, perhaps. Anyway.
Anything you want to know, Jordan?
Obviously, comes to park holidays, you're really enjoying the experience of being an entertainer. You're actually a little babby, aren't you? You're a babby to entertainment. Not a baby, but when it comes to entertainment, you're just really getting into it, aren't you?
Yeah. It's like, I need to tell my body that. My body looks 40, but I'm actually 19.
I mean, when we was at the seminar...
I'm 32 this year, love, trust me.
You could just tell at seminar how excited you were, and to be around all the other entertainers, and
which
you'd come up to me and go, Jordan, are we all having a little catch-up tonight? You'd be so excited.
I know, I was just like, like friends.
And that's what you need in companies like that. That's what you need, and that's what park holidays are very good at. So I'm glad you're enjoying the parks. Where are you again? You did say
Pevensey Bay.
Last year, you
so not too far from you.
No.
Not too far from me. I'm down the road at Coghurst when I get back.
I think that's the closest one to me. I think either that or Winchelsea.
Yeah. Where was you last year?
Last year, I was at Lakeside for the second year, but then I left halfway through because I was dealing with a loss in my family, sadly.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. Then I had to just go clear my own head out. Like, I didn't want it to affect the guests more than like me. Like, I don't want them feeling like, oh, he's not doing his best.
Admirable.
And all that stuff. So I went.
And I think sometimes that's really brave, because in entertainment it's one of them where you've got to hide your emotions in a sense. When you go into work, you've got to put on this mask and you've got to be happy. So yeah, you definitely did the right thing. But to come back, I think you'll come back stronger. And when we do get back, we're not grounded anymore. Then you'll have a terrific season. So,
but do you think that goes the other way? Do you think that goes the other way as well? Because obviously, your personal life, blah 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 blah. But then it could be the case of like you're in the evening. I was like, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a really good mood tonight. I just found out my cousin's getting married. That's amazing. I'm just waiting for my. But if you keep banging on and banging on and banging on, it still comes to that thing of your personal life. I mean, it's not. If it makes you happy, great. But
it's
no one wants to hear about it in the nicest way.
It's like the guests want to come. Like I agree. Like the guests want to be there for their entertainment, and like some bits about your personal life can be said. Like, oh yeah, I've like been doing this, I've been doing that, like where I've come from, and that. But like saying stuff, like making them like about. I think it's like boasting. It's like, oh yeah, all that stuff. Like some things the guests can know, but some things the guests shouldn't and they don't want to know.
Yeah.
Sure. It's all about that mask.
Exactly. Like I was working for a company before, I'm not going to name it, but we had a sort of DJ thing on the main stage and she acted like she was on radio. Like between each song she was saying, so this went down into the towns. They had a nice pasty at Greg and all this in and just no one cares, just play the music, love. There's a fine line I found. There's a fine line between radio and obviously DJing live. You got to remember you're not on radio.
Yeah.
And trust me, I am the worst for this. I'm the worst for volume levels and I'm the worst for talking too much. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But it's just finding that balance. What part of the job, can I ask Lewis, do you like the most? Is it the hosting? Is it the kids' time? Is it the party dances? Is it the disco? What is your favourite part of it?
I have like
obviously
my favourite
all of it,
bit. Yeah, all of it. Doing the experience is great. I love doing my cab and that. But I like entertaining the guests. But I love it when like the kids join in. Like I love it when like you can do like kids' time. You get to like act like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what you said, Jordan. Like I was like, oh, are we doing gatherings, all that stuff? Like all that stuff, like seminar and that. I could do that character with the kids, like not asking for gatherings or anything, not like that. But like be that bubbly personality.
But again, it's like we were saying earlier. You were watching earlier. If anyone else was as well, we're talking about keeping kids' attention is one of the hardest things. Do you find that as well?
Yeah, I've like. With me, like it's also like stuff you can bring at home. It's like I've got like nieces and nephews and that trying to get their attention is hard. Like if you're looking after them, it's like that you're looking after the kids, not looking after. It's more like you're trying to entertain them and like trying to get their attention. If you get their attention for like if you like a second, that's good. Like then they'll just stay engaged.
How old are your nieces and nephews? How old are they?
I have a nephew that is 10, and I have one that is 2.
So do you find with the 10-year-old when you must have babysat them or something at some point, do you find that kind of helped you with the job to kind of learn how to sort of communicate and entertain them or not?
Yeah, it's like I learned more about the communication with the 10-year-old because like the 10-year-old like knew more, like had more engagement and that.
Sure.
But like I took it on as like, so what would stuff that would entertain my nieces and nephews? Would that like try that and would that entertain like a guest's children?
Sure,
definitely.
Yeah. So like taking your home talents into your workplace.
Definitely,
completely. Like I mean, kind of an upper hand for me. Being a magician, like I find kids love magic more than adults. That's a fact. So if you do a bit of magic or something, that kind of, they want to see what happens. That kind of makes it easier. But again, and I hate it because I've seen it so many times when magicians who are kids magicians, they're bordering on that line of becoming a clown.
Yeah.
Which are two completely separate disciplines. But I mean, from being at, Lakeside last year and the 2.5 weeks this year, any favourite visiting acts, Lewis?
My favourite, from me being there, not that much. I haven't had as many, but one of my favourite visiting acts. They were called. Oh, what were they called? Oh, they were here. They're at Pevensey. They're at opening like evening for like the owners and that. I can't remember what their names were. It was like an a cappella group.
Oh, okay.
How many of them was there?
There was four guys.
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't think we've had them.
No, I think they just started this like coming onto like our cabarets and that. But
sure.
I wish I knew their names. I think it was the Troubadours. That's it, the Troubadours.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic.
I was proper excited about the West End jerseys coming because I love the show anyway, and I love Frankie Valli and all that. So that's like me sorted to the point of I was going to say to my guys like, right, I ain't doing the pod. I ain't doing this. I'm going to be on that dance floor enjoying myself. You guys do what you want.
I love a bit. I love Frankie Valli's my favorite.
Yeah. What about you,
amazing.
Jordan? What's your favourite cabaret, Jordan?
Good question.
I mean, there's a few. I've not seen Paddy's yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But
while you're thinking, Jordan, just to say, anyone watching, if you've got a favourite that maybe you've seen, if you've been on a park or if you work in a park, let us know in the comments. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jordan.
That's good.
That's all right. I've had a few. I mean, Reece Jones is one.
Mm-hmm. He's like Reece,
the energy he brings, his piano and his lights. He's brilliant. Andy, who's backstage. I used to be his little techie back in the day. Back in the day at Harlan. Andy's is one with his magic. But I love comedians, so I really like. There's a guy called Paul Z. And a guy called Tank Sherman, and Tank's
Ledge.
Tank's from Devon, and a lot of people that have been doing entertainment a long time would have come across Tank Sherman at one point or another. But not just because they do that, but for
Elliot Frisbee is such a nice guy, says Joe.
Yeah. Andy and Tank and Paul, a couple of years ago, they all travelled to my local town, which is in Cambridgeshire, which is a long journey for all of them. Absolutely free with the charges, and we all did it in aid for Great Ormond Street. So for that, that as well, I have so much respect for all of them, and their acts are just top class. So I love
comedy's hard as well because, like, you know, you're a singer or whatever. You know, you got the backing track, you got the lights to help kind of enhance the show. Whereas comedian, it's you, microphone, one lighting state. You got to do it. And for me, there's two. Obviously, Tank, incredible. The two that are probably my biggest favourites are Noel Brody and Jack Glanville. Noel Brody does the panto down here in Bournemouth. He's brilliant. Always meet up with him as and when I can. But Jack Glanville, I've seen him before where, like, this is the classic example of how to own a room. This was down in Dawlish, a park near there. And the first kind of sort of three or 4 minutes, the audience were kind of like, not really getting into it. But he turned it round within 4 minutes and he had the meeting out of his hand in about 4 to 5 minutes. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I think the best comedians do that, where, you know, whether there's 2 people in the room or 200, they can adapt.
Jack does panto in Yeovil. He's brilliant. I've actually, one sec.
Pipe. Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
there he is.
That's him.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there he is.
Love it. Yeah, I love comedians.
And the reason his name is in the Cadbury font is because he insists on wearing that purple suit every single time. But even the DVDs, like, there's a story on the back of here. I'm not going to go through it, but absolutely amazing. And he's covered all of his, the whole audience. There you go.
Did anyone ever come across Arnold Gutbucket before he retired?
Yes, Jim Birmingham. Ledge.
I think he's finished now. I don't think he does for parks anymore.
He is still doing them, but he's kind of, I guess, the phrase semi-retired is the yeah. But no, class act.
Yeah, cool. Any more on Doctor Who, Lewis?
Anything you want to know, Paddy? Because I know you're not as familiar with it. Anything you want to know?
What's your favourite monster / creature / whatever they're called?
I am petrified of the Weeping Angels.
I don't know what they are. Please explain.
They're literally, it's like Jordan's Scarecrow.
I know Daleks,
but if he was just like that for ages.
Okay.
But don't blink.
Yeah, you can't blink. Like they can only move if you either don't look at them, blink, or close your eyes.
Because I've got quite a few siblings, but me and my brother Jack or Charlie, if we were messing about, one of us would become a weeping angel, and we'd just be stood in the kitchen, sort of like going like this, and that would mean the weeping angel was coming. And if the lights were off, and then they come back on, suddenly it was a little bit closer until the point. There they are.
Oh wow!
So, right, Paddy, don't blink.
Yeah, for Doctor Who, to be fair, they are quite scary for Doctor Who. Especially if you're watching as a kid. I mean, they're not now, but as a kid, I mean, I used to be scared of the Teletubbies when I was a kid.
Freaky little things, anyway.
No, I wasn't scared of the Teletubbies. I don't know if you remember. But I'm a 90s
baby
kid.
trapped in the sun.
They used to be a cardboard bear and a cardboard lion, and they used to chase each other on wheels. And the bear would come out and sort of go, I'm the bear with brown fuzzy hair." Then it would run away on like two little wheels. I mean, if Andy can get a picture of that or a video, that would be impressive. But
we seem to go on to things from our childhood that scared us. Was there any kids shows that scared you, Lewis? Not just Doctor Who, just anything.
I used to be afraid of them, like not now because they've been like new and redesigned. The Muppets when they looked like proper.
I know a few people
like in the olden day Muppets.
Yeah. My mum was scared of the Muppets because when it comes to Christmas, I like watching the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Brilliant film,
classic. And but she won't watch it.
There was a show, if you remember, called Playdays.
No, I'm not seeing that.
I know the name.
It was on CBBC. It was like this cartoon animation of a bus, and it was like and it always stops at a different stop. And Dave Benson Phillips, who presented Get Your Own Back, he used to do the roundabout stop for a while, and it's like stories and arts and stuff like that. But there was one. Headphones. There was one.
Mr. Jolly.
One stop. I think Mr. Jolly was the best. I think it was the playground stop. You had like Peggy Patch and who was the Y-Birds and all this sort of thing. Poppy the cat. And you found that scary. You found that scary, Jordan. He's hiding.
No,
it's okay.
We can't find a video. There's a...
He's doing the weeping angel there. Look.
There's a video. Paddy, take over.
You're right. But yeah, there was the playground stop, and there was this character called Lizzie, who was like this puppet thing, and she used to do this sing and dance. I was petrified of her, and we can't play video due to copyright. Thank Christ for that. But like, I had this thing when I was a kid, and I had nightmares when I was a kid. I thought she lived under my desk. It was like so scary. But then there was like a turning point. I had a dream one night, and she was actually all right. And then it just kind of went. And I look at it now, and I think, what was I scared of? But there's still that little bit of me. If I watch it now, I just think I do remember what it was like to be scared of her because she had this weird face. Yeah. I was going to say something else, but I've stopped myself because I'll tell you in the backstage afterwards because it is not very nice. But yeah,
definitely. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and just put in the Teletubbies, the Bear and the Lion, and then come back to me. And as a 4-year-old. Tell me that you wouldn't be scared, because I used to be. My mum will vouch.
That's it. Oh my God, that is it. Thank you, Andy. Oh, she freaked me out. She did.
Never in a million years.
She was a little marionette. I think that's what they call them, the ones on the strings, like the Thunderbird ones. But it's mainly because she sang, but her lips didn't move. She's constantly like that. That was just her face, and it freaked me out, man. Thank you, Andy. I hate you, you git.
Never in a million years did I think this podcast would have the bear with the brown fuzzy hair on, and that.
I know we said no swear. I know we said no swearing, but I know Andy's watching this. Andy, thank you.
When this is done, I'm going to watch this back and I'm going to screenshot it, and it will have us three Avengers the Bear. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Right. On that note, if anybody is watching, obviously we did start this podcast on a different note now. We did start this podcast because, you know, during this lockdown and crisis, a lot of people are bored, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Included. But also people might find themselves that they feel a little bit alone. So we chose to support the mental health charity. We understand that everybody, a lot of people are on furlough pay, so we know that you've only got so much coming in. But I know the least you can donate on there is £4. So even if 5 people did £4, that's 20 quid right there. I know we've raised quite a bit so far, and it's only been up for a few days. But we was going to go for the NHS, and I know we'll do some things for the NHS in the future. But for now, when people are feeling quite alone, and I know not everybody watches this podcast every day because people have got other things to do, but we want to get people on air and talk about things that they find an interest in.
And even if you can't donate, just share that link to that website. That'd be amazing. Also, sorry, with that, not related to charity, but also I brought this up in another podcast. But just to mention, Jack Griffin has started a Facebook page. He's one of our lot, where he can put you in touch with other people who maybe could help you better because he's not a trained, you know, therapist or whatever. But it's a great Facebook page, motivational messages, and I think he's done a fantastic job.
Definitely. And if you know, we've got a lot of demand. This is sort of taken off this podcast. We've got
amazing. I think we're booked for like the next 2 weeks minimum.
Yeah, we've got a lot of demand coming on. I know you've got some guests. I'd be remiss to say we've got Sean Terry, like you said, Gary Tustin. We've got Adam Jones, Ben Cooper, even Ryan Higgins has said that he'll come on, which I'm excited about.
It's going to be funny.
Yeah, we're going to have to do some research on him.
Oh my God, podcast 96. Can't believe I'm here. Look at this. I'm in screen. Wow. I better not do that impression while he's on.
Definitely.
He's probably watching this right now going, I'm going to sack him. Absolutely sack him.
And of course, if you haven't watched already, we have our podcasts up on Podcast 96, which you can watch anytime. The first one was with Paddy and Reece Jones. Paddy right here.
Yep.
Before he became a host, and he's doing a great job. Second one was with Carly
and Nathan. Carly Victoria and Nathan.
Carly Victoria and Nathan Curtis. Then obviously this morning we had Jess Grillin, and now we've got Lewis.
Hilarious.
Well, which have all been absolutely brilliant. Hello.
Good luck and research Paddy bad impression. There you go. I told you.
Brilliant.
He's like Big Brother. Yeah. He's always watching.
Oh yeah.
And like we said, we've got 4 brilliant entertainers. I'm not going to say their name because, you know, they're not working. I will express that they're not working. We've got Josh and Dan, Stuart and Chloe coming onto a podcast on Thursday to do a little game show marathon as well.
Look at them. Look at
those little faces. And on Sunday, we've got 2 of your friends. One of your friends coming on. Is it Carl?
Sunday, yes, Carl. We're going to talk a little bit about magic, which will be fun. I have to say, this has been absolute joy, fellas. Lewis, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for what you're doing, guys. I've loved every minute.
You're very welcome. Is there, just before we go, we've got about 5 minutes before we have to, you know, kind of go. Is there anything else you want to bring up, Lewis?
I just want to bring up like how amazing that you guys have been doing everything.
Thank you.
Everyone agrees that in entertainers wise, it's made my day of just sitting on my own, watching Tiger King or something like that, Carol Baskin. But it's just
which I'm gonna start watching that. Actually, give it a go.
But like I think everyone agrees that everyone, Andy, you two have made everyone's day with this, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lewis. We really do appreciate that. Don't leave the live. We'll all be put backstage and we'll have a little chit chat. But once again, guys, share the page, like the page. Join us on Thursday at 3:00. We go live on Thursday because those 4 like a little bit of a lay-in, don't they? Join us then. We'll be back on Thursday. Thank you very much, guys. Lewis, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
bye.
Lewis. See you later, mate.
Bye.
Oh, Andy, I hate you. Oh, look at that thing. Wow.
My childhood nightmare.
I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. In other news... Oh, my apologies.